Hey everyone, we're back with another video, and today we've got a Toyota Proace Electric. Now this one only comes in a medium wheelbase. We've got it in to do some modifications to it before it goes away to have some dog cages fitted. So it's going to go to a dog walk-in service. While we got it in, we thought we'd give it a bit of a review. Everyone seemed to like the previous ones we've done, so we'll go through this and see what we think in detail. Overall, it's a medium-sized van. I think I've been in and out of this a few times, and the general feel of it is it's a lot lighter and cheaper than the Transit Custom, and certainly more so than the Mercedes Vito. This one's got the hubcaps on it rather than alloys. I mean, there's a lot of weight saving on it, and you probably can't see that well in the video. This one's got a few scratches on it. It's only got a few thousand miles, but it's come from an auction. It's going to get wrapped for the customer anyway, so it wasn't an absolute priority for them to have it in proper tip-top condition. Over here we see we've got the electric, we've got the standard, and then we've got the high current fast charge station. So depending on what station you go into, depending on what type of current you can get, this one predominantly is used for you know, household style electric. So it would generally charge over a period of 6 to 10 hours. Walking around to the front, obviously we've got some more marks on the front here, but again, I get the point. Obviously this being an electric vehicle, you need that additional range, but it does feel quite light. I mean, this is all plastic, so it's going to make it lighter. It just makes it feel a little bit cheaper. And now let's go and have a look round into the back. So we've just lined this one out with lightweight linings. You know, it's all about keeping that weight down. The more weight you can get down, the more range you'll get out of this, and then it kind of stops that range anxiety, or at least tries to alleviate it a bit more. So you can see we've got the lightweight linings on here. We've just taken the old heavy ply out. So this has got the poly lightweight floor on there. Just looking in the back here, this one's got a window so you can see through to the back. Let's open up this one. So you can see we can get some longer items in underneath the seat here, and I've already tested this. You can get a full sheet of ply, but unlike the Transit Custom, it only just fits in here between the wheel arches, so there's not a lot of room for everywhere else, whereas actually you saw with the Transit Custom it was a lot wider in there. You definitely wouldn't get any sheets standing up. While we were putting the linings in this, something we've noticed, the paintwork in here literally has had a very light dusting of black, and it's not been finished off with any hardener or anything. And even with the vacuum cleaner, you can knock the side and create a scratch on the inside. So the paintwork is literally a dusting over. So I can imagine over a period of time, with stuff getting thrown in and out of here, that's going to start to look scratched and damaged. So if that's an issue for you, something definitely to consider. This one's a twin side load door, so access from both sides. You can get single. If you're going for the electric, then you will only at present be able to get the medium wheelbase. Let's have a walk around and see what the cab controls are like. So in here, this isn't a push button start or anything like that. It's got a standard key. This confused me at the beginning because I turned on the ignition and assumed I was ready to go. But actually you do, like on a petrol or diesel engine, you do have to turn key to start. That wakes it up into the system. Then over here we've got the gear selection. So we've got the park, and then we can drop that down into drive. Obviously it's going off, and we'll go for a little test drive in a minute. Back up into neutral or into reverse, and then back into park. Down here we've got the lever for the electronic handbrake. So that's just a pull on, push off type handbrake style. And generally in here, it doesn't feel like too bad a space. The screen is a lot smaller than on other vans. It's kind of got that kind of pillar box view to it. There's some different drive modes in here, so you can go into power, normal and eco mode. And over here we've got some traditional controls for the temperature, so we can go to high. There is a bit of temperature adjust on there, and some of the fan controls. Standard recirculate, hazard lights. The control system here feels a little bit dated, but it hasn't got that big screen, which I know some people didn't like with the Transit Custom, where it sticks up over here. So it's got everything you need. You can connect your phone to it, Bluetooth. This is a Toyota Peugeot Citroën collaboration. So if you've got the Peugeot, or you're looking at the Peugeot partner, or you're looking at the Citroën Dispatch, this is exactly the same van. All three are based on that same common platform. This one's got a little cubby hole in here. There's no other little cubby holes, certainly in the driver's area. Seems to be a lack of cup holders as well. You can get your bottles in down here, maybe some paperwork in here. Yeah, there's certainly nothing in here, and a few little cubbies. There's not a lot of, there's a little cup holder there. There's not an awful lot of storage space in here. And then if you look around the other side, you'll be able to see under here there's another very small storage compartment under the seat. Probably only get a few little items in there. We can pull down the middle here. Yeah, that just seems to be like a little storage compartment there as well. I thought that might come apart, but it doesn't. And then the passenger seat here as well, if you've got longer items going through, that flips up. That's the door into the back area, where you can get longer items through that. So generally that's the back end, the outside and the cab area. Pretty basic, but these cost a lot less than the Ford or the Mercedes alternatives. Let's take it out on the road and see how it drives. Right, here we are ready for the road test. So the dashboard's lighting up now. It says we've got a range of 150 miles, which is just below, according to the dial, 100%. There's also a dial there to tell us about whether we're in eco mode or whether we're using max mode. So let's stick that in drive, knock off the electric handbrake and make a move. I mean, I've driven a few electric vehicles now, I'm quite used to them. They do drive quite like a normal vehicle now. I remember some of the early ones, you know, they felt a little bit like they had a lot of runaway, but now with the regenerative braking, you know, the motors kick in as you're slowing down. And you can see from the screen here in the middle, it's giving me information about how much power I'm using, or when I'm braking or slowing down, how much of that's going back into battery recharge. So if you can keep that balance right while driving, you know, you are going to extend your range. I feel the steering on this, I don't know, I mean, this has only got, you know, 4,500 miles on the clock, so I can't imagine there's anything wrong, but it feels quite heavy, the electric steering. It's okay when I'm driving, but when we're doing manoeuvres and parking, it can feel quite heavy. It drives just like a diesel van. It just feels like there's that low down power which is there, because with an electric vehicle, when you put your foot down, you do get 100% power straight away. Unlike a diesel, you have to wait for turbos to kick in and stuff. It doesn't take a lot on the throttle for me to balance out. At the moment, I'm trying to go in eco, but just a small tap down on the foot and I'm into power mode, so I'm really starting to drain those batteries. But as soon as I come off, I'm now regenerating, the motors are kicking in, and it's kind of giving me that engine feel where you get engine braking, which some of the earlier electric vehicles didn't have that, and it was almost like you took your foot off the throttle and the thing carried on going, so it felt quite unnerving. But now I think all electric vehicles have that, where it just feels like an engine slowing down. So if you are thinking of making that conversion from diesel to electric and you haven't driven one before, get out and test drive one. I think you'll be quite surprised at it. You know, I do see the point in petrol and diesel. I certainly don't think that an electric vehicle is a total green option at the moment when we think about the production of the batteries and the materials like that, and actually our fuels, the electricity we're using to recharge these vehicles is still coming from fossil fuels. So we can't see it as a pure green solution. But there are benefits to having this, and there's certainly some tax benefits to having an electric vehicle too. So we're going to turn back now to the workshop, and we can give it a bit of a 0 to 60 test. Camera ready, 3, 2, 1, go. $60 miles an hour, 10 seconds, 0 to 60 in 10 seconds empty. I think you'll probably get a lot less than that when it's loaded, but you can feel the power there. It certainly drains some juice, so I won't be getting the mileage that I would have got before. But generally quite pleasant to drive for an electric vehicle. Out of all the ones I've driven, they all feel very similar. Like I said before, it doesn't feel that dissimilar to a diesel engine now. Overall, quite impressed with that road test. It's a good vehicle for the price you're going to get. You are going to notice, you know, some cutbacks certainly on the materials and in the quality of the finish. But I think for the price, it drives well, it feels nice enough. I'll be interested to know your thoughts. Do you own one? Have you had any issues? Are you thinking about buying one, and what concerns you about getting one of these? Thanks for watching. I'm Mark, this is Whitebox.